Well, the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry is set to seek some parliamentary ratification for a 15-year lease granted to the Barari DV Ghana Limited for lithium mining in the central region for the first time in Ghana. Lithium is a vital mineral used in the production of lithium batteries, which are increasingly promoted as an eco-friendly alternative to fossil fuels, aligning with global efforts to combat climate change. And Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abujinapo, assures that this agreement will be treated uniquely in line with Cabinet's directive on green mineral initiatives with the aim of benefiting the country.
Series of negotiations, as I've indicated, we concluded an agreement with Atlantic Lithium for the exploitation of lithium in Ewoya in the central region of our country. And today, I am happy to report through you to the country on behalf of the President and his government that we are granting to the company, Atlantic Lithium, a mining lease to commence the construction of the mining of lithium in our country. For the avoidance of doubt, this is the first lease granted for the mining of lithium in our country. This is going to be the first lithium project in Ghana. And distinguished guests, the lease we are signing today, I should emphasize, differs from our standard mining lease. Standard mining lease we've been signing for many years in respect of gold, manganese, bauxite, and other known minerals in our country is fundamentally different from the one we are going to sign today. And as I've explained, this is because of the policy approved by Cabinet, which is to say that green minerals are to be treated differently. And if you want, for want of a better expression, the mistakes which were made in the past, in the past will not be repeated with respect to the green minerals of our country. And so the lease we are signing today, as I've indicated, among others, has innovative provisions such as, and I'll list them copiously, such as 1, an increase in royalties rate from the standard 5% to 10%. The company will therefore pay 10% royalties on all minerals mined. 2, an increase in the state free carried interest from 10% to 13%. Government will therefore hold 13% shares in the company, which we will not pay for, but will be entitled to dividends and other rights. 3, an additional government participation through the acquisition of shares. Thus, in addition to the 13% shares, government, through the Minerals Income Investment Fund, MIF, will acquire additional 6% shares in the mining company and 3.06% shares in the holding company, which is listed on the Australian and London Stock Exchange. This will bring government's interest in the company to 19% in the local company and 3.06% in the foreign holding company. Additionally, government and MIF will have representations on the board of both the local company and the foreign company to protect government's interests. To ensure that other interested Ghanaians benefit from this mining operation, the company will list on the Ghana Stock Exchange, and their shares will be made available to Ghanaian entities and individuals, including SNIT, pension funds, and other high-income individuals. In addition to all taxes, royalties, and levies, including 1% growth and sustainability levy, the company, Atlantic Lithium, will also pay 1% of its revenue into a community development fund to be utilized for the development of communities impacted by their operations. In terms of value addition, the company has committed to complete a feasibility study for the establishment of a chemical plant within 4 months of the signing of the lease, that is within 4 months from today. As I've said repeatedly, our commitment is to ensure that as much as possible, we add value to these minerals before exporting them.
And let's get more on this from Dr. Tony Owen, who's the president of the African Institute for the Extractive Industry. Thank you so much, Doc, for spending some time with us here on The Pulse. This very agreement is coming at a time when the government is equally battling other issues in the mining or extractive industry, i.e. galamsey, which we talk about every day. But given the fact that government is promising a different story this time round, are you first of all certain that that will be the case, and what more policy measures do you expect government to take in that course?
Well, thank you very much, and just thank you for the opportunity to share my thoughts on this subject. I mean, on the face of this new development, I am quite excited because now you see government showing much more interest in the mineral which is mined on our own soil. I see the 13% free carry interest as quite progressive in my own view, and then also the desire to be part of the foreign entity is also very important. At this stage, it is how it pans out in practice, which is very important. We have these opportunities. Sometimes we populate the opportunities that we create not with people with knowledge, with inside knowledge, but sometimes people who have struggled through politics and then their positions are created in that situation. I think this time around, lithium is a special mineral. I mean, as we know, it's a crystal mineral, it's a green mineral, and therefore our representation should be based on knowledge, experience, and not based on sectional partisan presentation. But I think on the face of it, the optics is excellent. I think it's a good move. The royalties have changed from 5% for other minerals to 10% for lithium. This is not new globally. I mean, in some countries, royalties are based on minerals, different the type of minerals you're mining. When you go to Australia, the iron ore producers pay different royalties than the gold producers. So I think it's a good lesson we are learning. I personally believe that Ghana should get to a point where we actually show majority interest. And this time, it should not be free carry interest. It should be arcane in the past, as Botswana has successfully done. You know, in Botswana, the major diamond producing company is owned by the government, 51-49. The other partner, private partner, owns 59%. So I think we should selectively get to that point, and I'm glad that you're making this fight. The impact on the community, what the communities would get, must be properly outlined, and there should be a way of ensuring that what community gets is shown all the time.
There are already concerns about parliamentary ratification. Is that not of concern to you as well?
It is important. Parliament would have to ratify that. I mean, according to law, it's a requirement of the law that for the lease to be wholesome, it has to be ratified by Parliament. And there are cases. I mean, Eston Cubic went through all the process, did all the right things, and you know, he has to get himself into a controversial situation just because of ratification. So in Ghana, we see ratification of leases very important. It is provided by the Constitution, and so that has to be done.
Okay. How about, your studies and probably what your research might be pointing to? What level of deposits do you feel we have, which might be sufficient for, collective bargaining grounds? The fact that we might be asking for more royalties in the coming years. Is this something that you foresee, given, the level of research you've done about the deposits we have?
Yes. So far, what the prospecting results have indicated seem to suggest a significant amount with a percentage of lithium content being quite significant by local standards. I mean, we have Zimbabwe, DR Congo also having various quantities of lithium. We may not match Zimbabwe and Congo, and DR Congo, but what we have as started is good enough for it to be a bargaining chip for the country.
I see. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, Dr. Tony Obin, joining us. He's the president of the African Institute for the Extractive Industry. Thank you for spending some time with us. But let's stay with my colleague Samuel Kojo-Brace, who's also been following this story and some more issues coming up from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. And Samuel, I need to point out, first of all, that this is, in fact, good news to us because the country will benefit from this. What's been the reaction from the industry generally, I mean, from what you gather on this matter?
Well, I think from the beginning when this was announced that we found lithium in large quantities, it brought about some excitement in the industry and the general populace that at least in the long term, Ghana is going to benefit from this because you know that the world is going green. So if you have a green mineral, that's good. Of course, we are now thinking about refinery because I joined the Twitter Spaces some time ago when Myth had that space on this lithium thing, and the discussion was about how to move from just the exploitation of the raw mineral to now refining it because we want to bolster the aluminium, the vehicle making industry, and this is one critical component of the vehicle making company. So if that is it, then of course it comes as a good news for all of us.
And we understand that there are other developments also in this very sector.
Yeah. I mean, look, last week we did a story here from Inzima East, where a prospecting license has been given to a company called Yellow Gold, and some NGOs, raised the alarm that look, that is a conservation area, which would of course threaten that area. So they had issues. The Minerals Commission, after seeing the story, got in touch, and then we went with them to the field to see what was there. Now, I was taken to a part of the concession where illegal miners had gone in there to mine. Now, the Yellow Gold Company, which says that I'm in here to do sustainable mining and therefore I'm not to destroy the environment, had sent in security people to drive away the illegal miners. So we're taken there to see the work that had been done there. We met with there are two communities there, Edukrom, and then you get to Upper Tame. So we met the Edukrom chief. I wanted to understand from him what they do make of what's happening there. Now, he's known as Nana Kabila the Fourth, and he said, well, there is no conservation area in Edukrom, and the fact that even rivers there, do not terminate in the Ankobra River because that's the closest river to this area. He spoke to us. Let's listen to him, then we'll come. We'll go back to the community.
Even as we look forward to that, these traditional leaders, how worried are they about the situation in the community?
So that's why I wanted to find out from them that, look, what is the real issue here? They all seem to say that, well, the operations of the company will not bring adverse effect to us because the company has explained to them that it is doing prospecting to then go into rock mining. Rock mining is you going down there underground to bring the rocks up. So they feel that, well, if it is done according to what the company has said, then of course there won't be any problems. They have also been explaining that they haven't seen any sort of action from the company for them to conclude that there will be problems. But NGOs have issues, and I agree with them, because they were able to say that there's a conservation and some areas they call creamer, some areas that swamps that have not been endangered in a way, and they want to preserve all of these things. And they're saying that if you look at the past things that have happened in this country where mining companies have degraded the environment, there's no assurance that they can do it. But then they come to the conclusion that the mining lease has already been given. So what can be done? Then, of course, the NGOs, the Minerals Commission, because the Minerals Commission say that they were not aware that there were any conservation in the area. So a collaboration between the NGOs, the Minerals Commission, and the community, and of course the media, because we've been there as well, can probably help in ensuring that the right things are done. Yeah.
Assistant.
We don't have any conservation. Almost all our land has been given up for rubber plantation.
Okay.
And the few left for cassava and other foodstuffs. So we don't have any area here. No, we don't have. Since I came on the throne, I haven't had a problem of visiting any area which is solely conserved for natural resources or on environmental basis. No.
Where do those streams in the area end up?
The streams end up in bigger streams far away from us.
Okay.
Yes. From here to Ankobra, you can imagine how long it is. And none of the streams where yellow gold is trying to win and process is getting to Ankobra. No.
Where do those streams end up?
Personally, I haven't followed it individually to where they end. But seriously speaking, it is safe if they will actually operate as we have discussed. Yes.
Well, some of the chiefs there raising concern, and Brace, you've been digging some more and finding out what their next step might be on these concerns. What's likely to happen?
I mean, so the company is determined to do sustainable mining. That's what he says. Now, the NGOs also say, well, if we allow you in there, other people will take advantage and then come in there. So we don't want to. But where it is now, it's the NGOs are determined to petition the Minerals Commission on Tuesday. The company also wants to be given the opportunity to prove people right that Ghanaian companies can do the right things. So as it stands now, the mining lease has been given. So it is the NGOs and the stakeholders to come on board to ensure that the right things are really there. So policing, and I think that once the media has come in here, we should play our role.
Any response so far from the sector ministry?
No, because this is an issue that has just begun. So I'm sure that when it gets to where the sector ministry should come in, they will, of course, come in.
Samuel Kudjo Brace with the latest on that. We're taking